Hey kids, what's happening?
Hey, beautiful people.
Welcome to our beautiful home. Come on in, have a seat. A couple empty chairs over there for you.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today. You know, as promised, I told you we were going to give you a little update about what's been going on. And boy, we've had a rough week and going on another rough week here. So, life hasn't been very fun around here, I would say.
No, not at all.
V had recently gone in for some scans on her brain. Now, see, when we go through this cancer process, the head, the brain, is separate from the rest of the body. So, from the neck down, we see our oncologist at our local hospital here, part of the Cleveland Clinic. But for the neck up, the brain, we have to go all the way to downtown Cleveland to the
Neurosurgeon.
neurosurgeon, and they do that part.
Yes,
So you recently had a scan of your brain.
I did. Every 3 months, if you're not familiar with cancer, you go every 3 months to check the status. And another tumor was found in my brain.
And this one was where, like, in the top of your head.
Top of my head, yes.
And she still had a small one at the base of her head, but they said that one didn't look very threatening. It was still not doing anything. It was kind of dormant. But this one up here,
Was new.
yeah, it was new and it was growing. So they wanted to zap it with some radiation.
Mm-hmm.
And this morning, we got up at the crack of dawn, still dark outside,
5 a.m.
and drove up to Cleveland, Ohio, to the Cleveland Clinic. That's a nice place. I mean, valet. We usually don't do valet, but they gave us valet parking.
Well,
No.
they consider it a surgery,
Yeah.
what I had done,
Mhm.
even though there's no cutting or no putting to sleep.
So when they zap this tumor, you have to go through this process ahead of time, and they have to make a mask for you.
Right. Well, on my birthday, they made me a birthday present. I got this mask.
That thing looks like a torture device.
Well, it goes on your face like this. Your viewers probably recall I had one 2 years ago, but it was for whole brain.
Yeah.
This one was just for today to get the 2 spots with the gamma knife, which is a very high power type laser. And they put this, I get bolted to the table on both sides and on the top. And it's very, very tight. When I say tight, it's tight.
So your head is really in this mask, and your head is just stuck to the table where you can't even move it at all.
So tight, I couldn't speak. It pressed so hard on my lips. I couldn't do anything.
And that way your head's perfectly still while
Yes.
they do the laser, or the
Yes.
gamma knife as it's called.
So I went November 30th for the MRI of my brain. Last Thursday we went. I got a CT, an MRI. I got this mask made. Today we did the actual gamma knife.
So that zapped the tumor, and that should kill it. Now, as you know, what was it a few months ago? Well, it was longer than that when you had your lung surgery
September.
in September, and she had a chunk of her lung removed, which got rid of the cancer in her lung, and that was the primary source of the cancer. Well, then we find this tumor in the top of her head, so today they zap it.
And I made the mistake of putting it out in the universe. I told Itchy, I said, I'm so afraid that the cancer's going to escape from my lung and travel to my brain. And that's the result.
Well,
right
that's
there.
the thing with this small cell lung cancer. It doesn't stay in one place. It travels all through the bloodstream, and it can end up anywhere in the body. Well, unrelated to her gamma knife thing today, we went to our local hospital yesterday, and she had...
That's a CT scan from the neck to the pelvis.
So they're looking for any signs of cancer in her body. And today we get a report. And what did that say?
My ribs, both sides.
Three ribs showing metastatic lesions, which is cancer in her ribs now. And we were expecting a phone call from the doctor 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes with us. They tell us, okay, keep your phone right by you. The doctor's going to call you back in a few minutes. 2 hours ago, we're still sitting here waiting for the doctor to call us.
I'm not his only patient. I'm sure he's doing office visits or something. He's a very, very busy man. So I'm thinking after hours.
So here we are, battling this stupid disease, this cancer.
The worst part is, I don't know if you're familiar with Cleveland Clinic, but they have something called My Chart. And as we were leaving, I get a message across my phone that says, "You received a new test result in My Chart." So dummy me goes and looks at it and reads it, and it gets you upset, you know. So I called his office, get his nurse, and she was even like, "I wish they wouldn't do that. Why do they put those results out there?" For one, you got to Google practically every word to figure out what they're talking about.
It's all high-tech medical language that you can't understand. So, yeah, we're going back on the internet and trying to see what does metastatic mean.
Yeah.
And what does anterior
Sclerotic
mean? And yeah, what's sclerotic? And you know, we're looking up all these words, and then when we find out what they mean, we're like, oh. That's not good. So,
well,
you know.
I do have an appointment Thursday. They're taking 3 days of this week from me.
Yeah.
Thursday, I have an appointment to see the oncologist and get my treatment. So hopefully he'll explain all this if he doesn't call.
So.
Oh, then I have an appointment next week on December 23rd. And I see another doctor yet because also on my brain MRI showed an artery aneurysm in the brain.
That was a tough one to swallow last week.
That one had me upset on my birthday and crying.
Now, some of you may not know what an aneurysm is. Well, in this case, you have some arteries, which are the main blood vessels that run up into your brain, that feed your brain with blood. And on one of those arteries is an aneurysm, which is basically a blister that where the side of the artery becomes thin and it just kind of blisters out and fills up with blood. If that blister were to burst or pop, it can be deadly.
Mm-hmm.
It can
in
cause,
most cases, they say the patient doesn't get to the hospital in
right.
time.
It can be a very quick, rapid death. It can cause a stroke. It can leave you paralyzed. It could leave you brain damage. It could leave you blind. So many bad things can come of this. So when we heard that she had this aneurysm, we were just devastated. Just like, what next, Lord? What next? How much can we take? You know, this poor girl has just been going through hell with this, and it's been really hard for us. So, but the doctor did tell us today not to worry so much about the aneurysm. He said we'll keep an eye on it. It's not real serious
Keep your
at
blood
this
pressure
point.
low.
Yeah, he said just don't really like overexert yourself to where your heart's just bam really pounding, because that can put more pressure into your blood vessels, which could cause it to expand and then potentially cause an issue. So,
in my opinion, now all of this came about because they did not address the
because
lung
they procrastinated
fast enough.
on taking care of your
And
lung.
that was the primary source. So now it moved around. I want to say it went to the brain, it went to the ribs.
We keep telling ourselves don't be our own doctor, listen to our doctor and what he tells us. But I'll tell you what, it's awful hard not to be your own doctor.
Yeah.
Sometimes you find out more being your own doctor than listening to
Well,
the doctor.
he's the one that told me it's a very aggressive cancer and it will come back big and strong.
Yeah.
So why they waited 5 months to get this out, your guess is as good as mine.
So the battle continues, and it is a battle. We really appreciate your guys' support. We really do.
That's for sure. Keep those prayers going.
Yeah,
It's
we
like-
need them.
It's just like craziness, you know?
And we so much need to just escape and go do something and get our minds off of this. But
With
like
COVID?
like V said, it, what 3-4 days this week we got appointments, and we don't
Yeah.
even have a chance to do anything else because our every day's wrapped up with some other appointment that we have
Just
to
when
be
I
at.
think I'll have a free week, like next week, oh no, you have to see a new doctor. We'll put you in on the 23rd. Well, there's a day out of that
we
week.
actually thought about entertaining my mom and her son for Christmas
Mhm.
again, but we're just overwhelmed with appointments and stuff, and we really can't. It's just too much.
It is. And going all the way to Cleveland, oh my gosh, that ride. Someday, I wish you guys could be a passenger in the car.
It's like driving in the Indy 500 going to Cleveland. The closer you get to Cleveland, the faster the race is.
Oh my gosh, it's horrible.
We see some drivers that are just absolutely suicidal. It's just
Yeah.
amazing. And yeah, it's frightening.
But we do want to take a minute also to wish everyone a Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Next week already.
Happy
I can't
holidays.
believe it.
Coming right around the corner. Our beautiful tree, right? Oh, sorry.
We haven't had time.
We don't have a tree up, unfortunately. We just haven't had a window of time to go through all of that, take it all out.
I don't have an appointment tomorrow, but you do.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to go see the doctor tomorrow. For once in a great while. I usually don't go to see a doctor, but I have to once in a while.
Yes, you do.
All right, guys, we appreciate, like I said, we appreciate every one of you.
We appreciate your time listening to us go on and on about health issues. It's never fun.
No, it's
But
not
I
fun.
do rely on your guys' prayers big time. I love to read the comments and I love to hear all the encouraging words, and it just does a lot of good for me.
Yep. Give us a thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.
For sure.
Till next time, guys. We love y'all.
Bye.